Dad breaks the door down, boom! Where's John? Now, Michelle's smooth. Michelle's like, John who? Like, sweetheart, the bed's levitating behind you. There's a clue. So Dad comes up to the bed, looks underneath it. My friend John is on the floor in the corner shivering like a rat under the bed. It's like, what is he doing there? I mean, if he really loves this girl, why doesn't he know, boy, you better hide from the man who loves her the most? Because he knows in the depths of his heart, this has nothing to do with love and sacrifice. It's about lust and pleasure. If we're about love, do you know how proud he'd be to show the father how he loves the daughter? But as it is, he hides. Why is her dad always like that? So uptight and protective? Because he's not naive. He knows the price she's going to pay because sex is sexist. Girls always pay the biggest price. I mean, check this out. They studied here 10,000 girls. When a girl starts having sex and what happens in her life. They found if a girl starts having sex and she's 12, that's like 7th grade, on average, those girls go on to sleep with about 21 different guys in their lifetime. If a girl starts having sex when she's an 8th grade or freshman, she'll probably sleep with about 14 different guys in life. Sophomore, junior, it's 8, senior, it's 7. Numbers go down according to how long she waits to have sex the first time. But the sooner she starts, unless she stops, she becomes more likely to have more breakups, STDs, out-of-wedlock pregnancy, become a single mom, live under the poverty level, have a divorce, have an abortion, be depressed, on and on. The longer a girl waits to have sex the first time, the better her life is going to be. And this doesn't mean she'll have a terrible life, she's not a virgin. All this means, how can we look at this as guys and think, oh, but I love girls enough, I can do this with them. And with Crystal and I, this is not why we save sex for marriage. Do you think we practice chastity because of this? It's like, well, honey, I'm afraid of increasing your rates of living under the poverty level, honey. We certainly can't do that tonight. I know. The reason we waited is simple. It's because I love her. And love can wait to give, but lust can't wait to get. And that's the second thing we did, saved it for marriage. Third thing for solid marriage. One of the beauties of self-control, you don't even have to worry about birth control. Even in marriage, no way on earth would I put my wife's body on that junk. How disrespectful. What's her fertility? Some kind of disease? Hey, let's give my wife some drugs to make her more sexually available for me. It's messed up. Girls aren't told the truth about birth control. Your girlfriends, your sisters, they don't tell the truth. They never say, hey, sweetheart, here's your birth control pills. Oh, I'm sorry we forgot to tell you. Birth control pill is going to increase your risk of getting breast cancer. Some doctors are like, the pill and breast cancer? That's not true, really. You know, because the United Nations says it's true, the Mayo Clinic says it's true, companies that make birth control admit it's true, but they don't tell the girls that stuff. So if you don't want the pill, we can give you something different. We'll give you the birth control shot. It's called Depo-Provera. And before they stick the needle in her, do they even tell her? Yeah, the company that makes this drug has been sued for more than $700 million because it thins out the girl's bones. They have girls in America 20 years old who have the bones of a 60-year-old woman in their body because they took Depo for too many years as a teenager. And in California, if you're a child molester or rapist, you know what they do to you? They put you in prison where you belong. You know they punish you when you're there? According to the California government website, sex offenders in California now may be punished by Depo-Provera treatment. The prisoner shall continue getting injections till it's no longer necessary. They inject child molesters with girls' birth control in California. Why? Because it'll reduce his desire for sex. But you know who they're not giving it to anymore? Dogs. Veterinarians now refuse to. They said, that's not safe enough for our house pet. But they'll give it to any girl who goes in Planned Parenthood. Big thing they push now is a birth control patch. It's a little sticker the girl puts on. Hormones go through her skin. It's killed more than 25 girls in America. But who cares? Because they make $1 billion a year. They say, oh, if you don't want the pill, the patch, we've got a new one for girls, Implanon. Plastic stick about this long, thin like a matchstick. They just cut the girl's arm open, slide it under her skin, sew it shut, and it sinks hormones into her body for 3 years so she doesn't get pregnant. And if you know someone interested in that, here's the information that comes with it. Let's read the fine print though. Ladies on Implanon, call your doctor right away. If you start coughing up blood, you go completely blind or unconscious. It's like, what? It's like, how is she supposed to make the phone calls? Anyone seen my cell phone around here? It's like, I'm coughing up blood. Like, what was so wrong with the fertility in the first place? Your girl's fertility is a gift. It's not some disease. I asked a bunch of high school guys once, hey guys, what is the #1 sexually transmitted disease? One guy's like, ooh, I know, pregnancy. I'm like, no. I'm like, kids are not bacteria, okay? I can tell you just man to man. I mean, fatherhood, is, I'm telling you, it's the greatest joy I think a man can even know in this life. And it is. I mean, the other day my wife had a kickboxing class. She's like, honey, I got kickboxing. Can you watch the kids for a while? I'm like, yeah, go have fun. So she leaves. I got the kids myself. I'm like, okay, guys, mom's gone. Let's go upstairs. WrestleMania. And they're like, yeah. So we run upstairs. We got this huge king-size bed. So it's like kind of like mixed martial arts or ultimate fighting, but you're allowed to do like wedgies and wet willies and stuff. You know, and I'm slamming them. There's like drool flying through the air. There's like getting diapers getting chucked, and I'm just slamming them because I'm undefeated. And it's like you just go at it until someone gets like a fat lip or a concussion on the end table. Then you're like, and you go downstairs and eat cookie dough. And this is fatherhood. And you might think, well, look, Jason, I'm glad you like being a dad a lot, but seriously, being a dad in high school, you think that'd be fun? Oh, I know. One guy came up to me after the talk. He said, Jason, we have to talk. I said, what's going on? He goes, I found out this morning I got a girl pregnant. I'm like, okay, well, what's the situation? What's going on? He goes, you know the real problem here? He goes, I hate this girl. I'm like, what? He's like, I hate her. I'm like, what were you doing with her in the first place if you hated her? He said, honestly, he said, she kept bugging me to have sex with her. I wanted to just get her off my back, so I did it with her. Now she's pregnant, wants to abort the kid. I don't know what to do. I don't believe in abortion, but dude, she wouldn't be a good mom anyway. She can't even clean her own room. I'm sitting there like, wow. 1 minute, this guy's having a beer, thinking he's just having some hookup, but the two of them are toying with the well springs of human life. And who pays the biggest price always? It isn't him or the girl, it's the baby that doesn't have a chance to live. So they'll tell the girls, well, that's why we want you on birth control. Go on birth control pills and you won't get pregnant. It doesn't work like that. Birth control inhibits the girl's ovulation, meaning sometimes she'll release an egg, sometimes she doesn't. Do you know some birth control pills let the girls ovulate 60% of their menstrual cycles, meaning she can be getting pregnant more than half of the year? But they don't tell the girls that because it'll also thin out the inside of the girl's uterus so that if she does become pregnant, the baby will try to attach in the womb. It's too thin to offer the nourishment because of the hormones of the pill, and the baby's aborted when he's about a week old before she knew she's pregnant. Her period comes, she'll never know that was a miscarriage. They tell the girls this. They tell the guys this. I mean, so you mean if I'm having sex with a girl who's on birth control, I could already be a dad having aborted kids we never even knew we conceived? Doctors legally do not have to tell you this verbally, although it's sitting on every doctor's desk and the physician's desk reference. What they tell the girls instead is, well, you know, you're going to be sexually active. You need to protect yourself and have safe sex. Safe sex is a joke. I was in Michigan. I asked 10,000 students, what's the #1 STD? They didn't know. I went to Philadelphia. I asked 19,000 students, hey, what's the #1 STD? They didn't know. I went to South Africa. They didn't know. I spoke in England, Australia, New Zealand, the Philippines, Haiti, Honduras. I was in Brazil 6 weeks ago. They don't know. They're like AIDS, chlamydia, syphilis, herpes. There's always a guy in the corner. He's like, crabs? Like, oh no, it's not crabs. Stay away. But what is it? It's not AIDS. The #1 STD has killed more women than AIDS has, but they don't want to talk about it. It's not herpes, it's not chlamydia. These are scary for like girls because when girls get a lot of stuff, most girls don't know because they feel fine, they look fine. Problem is, she can sleep with a boy when she's 15, get chlamydia, doesn't know she has it, then she gets married when she's 24, tries to have a baby with her husband. The disease could have taken away her ability to have kids. This mother came up to me. She's like, Jason, will you tell those teenagers about me? I'm like, yeah, what? She said, Jason, I got married as a virgin to a man who'd been sexually active before we met. But she said, when we got married, my husband honestly didn't know he was asymptomatic, which means you don't show any symptoms. She said on our honeymoon night, she said my husband honestly didn't know he was infected with herpes, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and human papillomavirus, and he had no symptoms. So she said, we got married, I got herpes. I had 2 babies, they are now infected for life with herpes. Gonorrhea and chlamydia scarred my fallopian tubes. I'm sterile, no more kids for me. HPV caused cervical cancer. I'd have an operation on that too. And you know what her husband's thinking? Sleep around before marriage. Oh, it's all good. No one's getting hurt. Who pays the price? His wife, his kids. And the kids he's never going to have because he killed his wife's fertility. The #1 STD is what she had called HPV, human papillomavirus. 1% of sexually active people get genital warts from it. Most people never get that, so they think they don't have it, but it can still cause cervical cancer in girls. So they came out with vaccines like Gardasil. All these girls are getting Gardasil, thinking they're not going to get HPV now. Gardasil prevents 4 types of HPV. Problem is there's more than 40 different types that are out there. The risk of cancer goes down, but they can still get cervical cancer from other types of the virus. This thing is getting so widespread. How many guys have HPV? They don't know, because there's no HPV test available to the public for men right now, only for girls. So they know how many of us have it by how fast the girls are getting it. This is Journal of Gynecology. They studied high school virgin girls. 242 girls who have never had sex in their lives before they got to high school. How many of these girls got HPV from the first teenage boy they slept with? 46%. Every other girl today is getting it from her first male sexual partner. Good news, most of the time it'll go away on its own, doesn't cause problems. But it's getting so widespread, we're seeing more cancer. College girls in America, you seniors in here, you're going to be stepping foot on your university campus, freshman orientation, what, like 5 months from now? Before you step foot on your campus, you have to know how many girls on your college campus are going to have HPV. This is your Journal of the American Medical Association. It says the number today stands at 45%. This is every other girl in your college. How is this even possible? This explains it all. Scientists had never done this before. Study the sexual